messages for the collective for those that are on a new journey in business, career, and creative new beginnings. I just got the words, until you get it sorted. Until you get it sorted. So there could be something in the meantime that you are taken care of. Prince of Cups, Knight of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, Death, Three of Wands, Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords, the Hermit, the Two of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. So what I feel is that there is a sort of a balancing out that is happening at the moment. The Hermit is looking back to the past. There has been an ending, a death, a transformation. And the Hermit has the symbol of the Cerberus, which is the three-headed dog. It's a symbol of the lower self, the lower consciousness. And this is his companion. He brings with him his lessons or her lessons into the process of thinking and looking and discerning and examining. He holds a lantern which has a sun, and this is symbolic of the true self, the self-expression, seeing it through the eyes of your true self. And he's in a cave, so there's something, until you get something sorted that you are looking at, there's something within your shadow side, something that is in the darkness, then something starts to basically balance out with the Two of Pentacles here. And then there is this celebration energy. This is Venus in Cancer energy. And it's an overflowing of emotion. It's also representing reunions. Your focus is the Three of Wands, and this is Aries energy. And it is like looking at the sun. You can't exactly look at the sun. You can't see exactly what it looks like in detail, but you appreciate that it's there. You know that it brings life. It's that sort of energy. It's also like the sun rising and expecting something. So we have the Death card and the Princess of Swords, the Page of Swords, both focused on what's coming up or what's coming in. And it's underneath the Knight of Swords, which is the King of Swords. In this deck, it's there is no kings. It's Princess, Prince, Knight, and Queen. So we don't have kings in this deck. So this is the equivalent to a king, the Knight of Swords. And he is he's determined. He's in full motion. Birds are flying. The horse is flying. He's flying. So there's something in full motion that's coming towards you, but you might be dealing with something else. And once that shifts happen where you get something sorted out, something within the darkness, and seeing it through some sort of new lens, there's a shift that happens. What's underneath the deck? The Fool and the Eight of Pentacles. So this is very much a focus card. Sun, Virgo energy, details, dedication, also hard work, focus, something that comes from nothing as well, something that grows out of something very barren or fruitless starts to blossom. The more energy that goes into this, the more of this soul sun kind of focus that goes into something here. I think that more you focus on getting something sorted out, then it shifts into this energy. We have Jupiter, and all of the alchemical symbols, the sun and the moon. So it is a balancing out. So I'm thinking that once the planets are more sort of balanced within the universe, then it shifts into this Three of Cups energy. I'm just going to look at the Three of Cups, what it says in this deck's book, and then delve deeper into that because it's the outcome. But until the planets move into this sort of shifting, balanced energy, it's giving us an opportunity to go within this cave, this darkness. It's underneath the death card, and focus on that with some sort of magic light. And it leads into new growth, new beginning. But there are a few pieces here that I can see. The Knight of Swords, Princess of Swords. This is air, the element of air, thoughts, words. We also have the Wheel of Fortune up here, which has the symbol of the sun, an Egyptian I forget the word for that, but it's holding a sword with, yeah, there's a lot of symbology in that, so I want to give that some attention as well. So the Three of Cups. So we have 4 lotus flowers. Pour water down into 3 red and golden cups. Small golden handles appear at each side of the cup. The water flows freely down into the peaceful blue waters. A 5th lotus floats between 2 of the cups. The symbols for Mercury and Cancer. Sorry, not Venus. Mercury. Mercury and Cancer hover on the left and right of the card. And this is a feeling fulfillment from those around you, satisfying communions, and with trusted friends, celebrating group effort. It heavily about communication is what I'm feeling, and there was a reading that I did a while ago where it was a strong message of getting through and getting rid of the toxic communication. I think that we're looking at something within the darkness of the collective, because people can get so nasty so quickly, and it's because of deeper issues within the self. And I'm feeling like with this, we start out with this Prince of Cups, which is a king of cups. And a King of Swords in the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's a competitive energy here between these 2 kings. There's also misalignment, miscommunication between the element of water and air, so the heart and the mind. Because the heart is going in a straight direction and the Knight of Swords is coming in sideways. towards this King of Cups. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune next to that. There's a lot of planning involved here with the Three of Wands. So you might be planning a business, planning your next step with your career or your creative endeavors, but first you have to look into something here, or that's what you've been doing, with a lot of focus and a lot of this death transformation process. A golden wheel appears frozen against purple hues of the universe. 10 spokes poke out of the wheel. The sun appears at the center of the hub, supporting the idea that the sun is at the center of the universe. Wisps of golden, divine energy radiate out from the movement. The alchemical symbol of fire appears behind the great wheel. Fire fuels the wheel and makes the universe move. 3 golden creatures hold onto the wheel. A sphinx holds a sword. Sphinx, that's what I was thinking of. On the top of the wheel. A dragon/crocodile appears at the right, holding an ankh and a scythe. And a monkey climbs up the spokes of the wheel on the left. And this is about understanding the cyclical nature of anatomy, nature, and the universe. Acknowledge and honor your cycles, adapt to the changes. What comes up also goes down. So we have a natural cycle going on here. So whatever's going on now, which I feel is like a pendulum, it's going to be moving back into more of a balance at some point after the Hermit has gone through a journey here of understanding something within this cave. He's looking at something intently. It's very Virgo energy with the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles. So we have 8 discs that appear in the center of 8 5-petaled roses. Pentagrams appear in each one of the discs. They appear healthy, green, and the sustaining life force of the light around them. They align in 2 rows, which is the geomantic pattern of populus, Latin for the people. This figure suggests the successful outcome is based on the makeup of the culture it appears in. A sun rises or sets in the background, reaffirming the cycles of life are always present. The astrological symbols for Sun and Virgo appear on the center edges. I think that the Hermit is looking into what is it going to take, what is my will, what is my will. And how has my lower consciousness and the lessons of that, and the lessons of responsibility led me to this point of death, transformation into the new. That's why it came in the beginning of you have to get it sorted. Something needs to be sorted. As I use these cards more and more, I will get to know the symbology and I'll go deeper and deeper into the symbology. But for right now, I'm going to just touch the surface of this. A snake slithers around 2 discs, forming a figure 8. The creature connects with its tail and takes it into its mouth. The 2 discs feature the face of the sun and the moon. The sun faces forward and is a brilliant gold. A symbol for Jupiter appears to the left of the sun. The moon displays at an angle and casts dark energy outside. The symbol for Capricorn appears in the lower circle. 4 smaller discs appear at each corner, containing the alchemical symbol for one of the 4 elements: fire, water, air, earth. Balance and harmony, order and transformation appear in the proper places. This is striking a harmony with all the elements in your life. Restructure and change to make conformity fit, closing the loops. So that's where I think we're headed, is a conformity, a structure that actually fits the alignment of the soul, which is this communion with others on a heart level. But of course I want to pull at least 2 other cards on the outcome and on the Three of Wands as well. So let's look at the Three of Wands. So this death energy wants to transform this Aries energy, this Three of Wands. Gold and amber hues decorate the 3 lotus-capped wings. They are set on a backdrop of brightly colored flames, suggesting the white-hot fires of creation. 3 symbols cap the end of each wand. The left wand has the planetary symbol for the sun. A ram's head appears on the second wand. Finally, the last wand bears the astrological symbol for Aries. It's about seizing the opportunity being offered to you. This is your moment to shine, explore, daydream, and brainstorm. This also is about clarifying your will and looking at your own expectations. So there's something within this energy that's being transformed, but it's in line with this Wheel of Fortune and Hermit card, which is looking at something within the lower consciousness. It's like when these energies start to become more balanced is when we'll see this shift into community love and reunions, and a new way of communication that is not competitive. A perfect alignment between the mind and the heart. We have the Hanged Man. And the Three of Pentacles. A man hangs upside down on his ankh. On an ankh. His clothing is modest and is colored as his skin. The ankh represents life. A snake of transformation curls around the ankh as well. The Hanged Man holds his arms wide, reminding us of Jesus on the cross. The symbol of Mercury is in his right hand. Sulfur is in his left, and his bent foot holds the symbol for Neptune, the astrological sign of this card. The Hanged Man is being lowered into the waters of afflictions, or going into the darkness to be redeemed back into the light. So when I said in my last reading that I felt like the Fool was descending into something, but with great awareness, that is coming through here again with the Hermit, looking back into the darkness of the lower consciousness and the journey. And also I feel like collectively we are in a time of I don't want to say darkness, but what I'm feeling is where lower consciousness is very apparent. It's being shown to us. It's an opportunity to look at it. And like I said, I think we're going down into something and then we come back up with completely new, different energy that we haven't seen before. So it's pretty amazing, I think, what's going on. And we have the Three of Pentacles as well with the Hanged Man. Three wheels form the machinery on which two triangles balance. The lines forming the shapes gleam with a bright energy. A hexagram forms to connect the three wheels together. The top wheel has the alchemical symbol for Mercury on it. The right wheel has the symbol for salt on it. Finally, the left wheel has the symbol for sulfur. The astrological symbols for Mars and Capricorn appear on the center edges of the card. Two sets of tides make the background image, their movement illustrating how nature creates energy. This is about diligent performance on your work. Collaboration brings inspiration and more fuel. Utilize the base components to craft the whole. So what's transforming is the need to go into, get something sorted out within the lower consciousness for you to create something that is on the whole rather than just for the self. So there's some. So each individual has some significant life lessons that they have been through that they can now utilize in this new beginning to create something through Three of Wands. The focus of this is creating something. Also, the base energy of this is the Eight of Pentacles, which is this diligence and perfection in creating and focusing. So why do we have the Princess of Swords, which is the Page? I think this process is not shared by everyone, obviously. So the Princess of Swords stands ready to fight. Her sword drawn, her crown is blue and contains many snakes, reminiscent of Medusa. Her dress is light and airy, no armor appears. She even has fairy wings. While she may be ready to fight, she has a lot more to learn. And this is about the mind ready to learn new disciplines and being flexible and light-footed and refining your movements. In a negative, it's giving into frivolous attentions and sticking to old ways of solving problems. So you might face that. This whole line here is about transforming the way that you do things, the way that you solve problems, the way that you create things. So for people in business, starting a new business, it's about getting something sorted within on a soul level, looking into things that need to be refined, is what I feel. Because I think that there is this energy of the Page of Swords, which is this ready to fight, kind of competitive or combative, defensive energy. That's what's needs to change. But also, if you have any of that kind of defensiveness, which it's everywhere, in everyone, usually, especially when things get heated and big things happen. There's this defensive communication or combative communication. So it's saying to look into what you need to do or need to see to release that, or to not attract that into this this new beginning. The Two of Cups. And the Prince of Swords. So the Hermit's looking at the King of Swords. He's examining something about this King of Swords, this realm of communication. There's something in it, something in the shadow of that realm that needs to be seen, because the Hermit is ready to bring new life, conceptually. But he's needing to understand something. So I think this is the collective needing to understand something about the lower consciousness of how we communicate. Because we have the Two of Cups here. I just want to do another card on that as well. Why the Two of Cups? With the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups appear in a mock tree of life formation. Poisonous petals pour forth green sludge into the translucent cups. This poison flows over into the water, tainting it. The symbols for Venus and Scorpio align in the center and bottom of the card. The water ripples out as it soaks up the negativity. And it's about conceding to the poison, indulging in toxic situations and addictions, keeping with negative company. So I'm feeling like, although you might have an emotional bond with someone or a family member, partner, friend, there's a connection here that turns toxic or has been toxic, that needs to be completely transformed or an ending so that you can create. And I felt like people who have someone in their life who have who they love, there's love in the connection, but it's like releasing the connection or transforming it so that it's not, so you're not drinking each other's poison. And that's where the water comes in too. So we've got water and air. And these two balancing to create the Three of Cups. Which is communicating in a very loving way. And then with the Princess of Pentacles, which is the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles, with the Nine of Pentacles. So it's like being able to be successfully abundant and independent within the self. And there's also three here, so it could be that this is like a celebration or a group. So Princess of Pentacles has this energy of balance within her disc. And it's a really, this is where the potential is. This is fertile energy. So the Princess of Pentacles stands at the ready in the center of a lush forest. She wears a fur cloak and a tightly fitting dress made of light green fabrics. Her long brown hair is braided. She's ready for action. A crown of goat horns appears on her head. She wears a bronze spear topped with an orange octahedron. She carries a disc filled with many petals and a yin-yang at the center. This design represents the idea that the universe and everything in it springs out from the one, the yin and the yang. A stone altar is partially visible to her left. This is the protector of the earth, protection of the earth energy, diligence and awareness of everything, ability to apply the forces of creation to do your bidding. So there's the potential, once there's the respect and the awareness for everything, and the balance. Once the balance comes into play, there is a new respect within the collective that happens. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. 8 golden discs appear scattered around a larger center disc. These discs are stamped with the figure of the Triforce, a symbol for power, wisdom, and courage. The larger golden disc contains 3 interlocking circles, colored green, pink, and purple. These colors represent the joy, fertility, and the light of life. These discs radiate waves of energy out as the lush green background lights up. The astrological symbols for Venus and Virgo appear on the center edges. This is about efforts bringing fulfillment, and material gain is coming in. Living a life meant for you. So following your process here of sorting out what you need to sort out within the shadow of yourself, seeing it with the eyes of what needs to be refined. It's a refinement process. For some people, it's going to be the ending of a partnership that's poisonous. For others, it's going to be the refinement of a partnership that's poisonous, or a group. Or it is about stepping into new partnerships without that kind of defensive, ready to strike kind of energy within the partnerships. But this also talks about success within the self, the feeling of accomplishment, that you can accomplish anything that you desire within this business, this career move, this creative endeavor. But there is some work to be done first, is what I feel, and that's why there's this imbalance with the energy for that to take place. So things lining up in order for us to look into something deeper, closer, refine it, and then the potential is there. I'm going to pull a card for these 2 kings up here, the King of Cups and the King of Swords. And this is the Prince of Swords, so that's the Knight. So he's not looking at a person, he's looking at a knight, a action of he's looking at this thought process. He's looking at thoughts, communication. Let's see exactly what he's looking at. Prince of Swords, so the Knight of Swords. The Prince of Swords sits in a chariot made of clouds. He is naked, his skin is streaked with lightning tattoos. He wears a helm decorated with a winged head. A pair of golden wings burst free from his back. His right hand wields a golden great sword, and his left holds a sickle. The clouds beneath him whirl around like a tornado. The chariot is drawn by 3 cherubs who hold ribbons in the air. And it is the energy of rushing into the thick of things and having a dominating presence, fighting for what you believe in. What do you believe? What is your will? Exactly. What is your will? What do you believe in? Also, on the shadow side, it's what makes you impatient to complete projects, or using deceit, or attracting deceit, and pretending. So he's looking at what do you believe, what does the self believe in, what needs to be left out, left behind as far as the realm of communication, and how you present yourself in relationships. The universe and the Ten of Cups. So this is really interesting because this universe card is like an opening. I feel like the heart and the mind are trying to go through this opening, but they're not in alignment. And so we have, in order to qualify to go through this alignment, you have to be happy. And if you're not happy, you have to look at what it is that makes you unhappy. Because that's what I'm feeling here, is that the golden ticket into this bridge, into this opening, this gate, is happiness, true happiness, or knowing what emotionally fulfills you with the Ten of Cups. So looking at the universe card, a naked woman stands on the head of a long green serpent. She trusts the creature and seems to hold it in familiar sense. So it's a familiar thing that we're moving towards. There's a familiar energy. So this has happened before. Her long golden hair hangs down and she seems determined. The four familiar figures of an eagle, human head, bull, and a lion line the edges of the card's corners. The opening peels back like the vagina, the sexuality of women. Golden curls pull back at the edge of an opening. The universe seems to flow beyond the two central figures. An astrology chart with the quadrants surround a green planet. So this is telling me that the alignments of the planets within this reading, this message of this reading, the alignments, and that's what I saw when I was looking at this card, is that it is a familiar kind of lineup or alignment, which is creating an opening that has to do with the feminine, and what qualifies a person to cross over this threshold is knowing what their heart desires and their heart and mind aligning in that. For the Wheel of Fortune to move forward, to keep going, because I feel like if you're not in alignment and you don't know what your will is, you don't know what you believe in, you don't know what emotionally fulfills you, you've got to get that sorted first. Otherwise you'll go backwards, is what I feel. There is nothing that I'm feeling here that is negative. It looks like an amazing opportunity to figure out, refine what it is that you want, and then be in alignment with that feeling. Look at what you don't need to take with you into this that makes you unhappy. So it could be partnerships, family members, it's relationship related, to do with communication. And it says that it's about regeneration and reunion back to the universe. It's a gateway back into alignment with the universe, through the feminine, and giving into the call of a higher power. It says your work is finished, time to move on to the next. So whatever you have been working on, it's coming to an end. Whatever you were putting a lot of energy and effort into, it's time to basically figure out what is now going to make you feel this emotional fulfillment, and move towards that. Move in line with your higher will, your will. So the 10 golden cups appear in the Tree of Life formation. Ram's horns from each cup handles. A large red lotus shines water down into the top cup, which pours water down into the other cups. The top cup is etched with the symbol for Mars, while the bottom cup has Pisces on it. The whole of creation is in the background. And this is about pursuing your desires, having pride in your work and service, and balance and harmony in your life. In a negative, if it was reversed, it would mean that it is dealing with dysfunctional feelings, and miscommunication and disruptions around, and closing yourself up to those you trust. So I just feel like this is all about removing dysfunctional communication in relationships. It is the biggest issue with the collective, and it has come through several times. Also, it is about this following your deepest desires, and even going into higher realms, to find out what they are. So I'm going to bring in a crystal to finish off this reading, and bring in a couple of crystals. What are the crystal messages? Graphic smoky quartz. It's like this, it just straight away I saw it as this egg with that has the same sort of image as the hermit, but without the snake coiled around it. Smoky graphic quartz, or graphic smoky quartz. It's about transformation. And the rhodozite. So with the hermit, quickly before I get into the crystals, the hermit stands at the mouth of a dark cave. The walls glisten green. He wears bright red robes and holds up a staff in one hand and a diamond-shaped lantern in the other. A sun appears in the center of the lantern, shining bright light. The Orphic egg makes another appearance in the sky. This time it represents the universe. The ghost of Cerberus sneaks out from the darkness to catch a glimpse of the divine light. And it's about divine inspiration illuminating your path. It's wandering the path alone to relate it back to others as well. So the graphic smoky quartz is a stabilizer, and it supports all the structures in the body. Removing toxic debris and traumatic memories, it keeps you grounded and balanced in physical incarnation while exploring other dimensions. A lack of trust in yourself and other people creates psychological barriers that lie at the heart of your disease. Your self-esteem is low, creating a deficient immune system. Memories of old traumas have subtly amended your ancestral DNA. At a deep level, you have been compressed and limited. Allow yourself to expand again. And if you resonate with any of that self-understanding, that is what is expanding here. Allowing yourself to expand again through this energy that we are in right now. Being able to examine and refine the self and see where we have barriers, psychological barriers. Also, it says the divination is about undertaking a shamanic journey into the unseen worlds in search of healing. There you'll find the underlying causes of dis-ease and outdated soul imperatives that are affecting your well-being. Offer yourself the gift of transformation. Healing is found in the darkest depths of yourself and not in external forces. So when I was talking about the Fool going down into a new reality, it was that. It is using that, using the gifts of the universe that we're in right now, however that manifests in your life, to be able to explore some of the darker areas of yourself so that you can simply heal and transform and refine and see what it is that you truly desire. And also it means exploring taboos and treading where others fear to tread and doing it courageously. Maybe you have been afraid to look at something about yourself or look at something about a relationship. But there's something down in there that if you look at it with the energy of the hermit and the wisdom, I think you'll find this magic plant and take that and nurture it and focus on that, because that is the more true expression. So let's say the waters that nurture this plant, soul plant, is the true expression of the self once the refinement has happened, once whatever it is sorted. Because to move through this opening, to move through this gateway into expansion, I've got the Wheel of Fortune here, and loving communion and reunion and potential and success on a really satisfying level, that Nine of Pentacles. In order to move through that gateway, you have to know what is your deepest desire, what basically is your holy grail, because that is at the top of the Ten of Cups. So the rhodozite is about power, and it's excellent for removing blockages and for aiding vitality to the physical body. It cleanses, activates, and powers up all the chakras, harmonizes the etheric bodies. This crystal encourages the flow of Kundalini energy to all the cells and the spaces between. Karmic imprints from your past lives or emotional wounds from earlier in your life may be creating a state of psychosomatic dis-ease. Your own negative or compulsive thought patterns also play a part, as can those of other people directed towards you. So it's either self-sabotage or poisonous relationships, or both. So check out the harmony or lack of it in your environment. Earth energies may be disrupting your well-being. The ground around your workplace and your home may need healing and stabilizing by planting suitable crystals in the earth. Living in a healthy, stable environment creates a stable physical body. So it's a restructuring of the physical body and your environment on a individual level. And this creates the ripple effect that creates new structures in the collective. Soul Path is healing the earth. So I'm going to leave it there for you. Thank you so much for joining me and watching my readings and my channel. I am going to be back in a few weeks after I get something sorted and after I kind of look at where I'm going with this channel, what I want to do with it, the direction, and also some other things in my personal life. And then I will be back probably in the first week of February to start a new kind of divination journey with all of you. So I feel this will focus on business and creative work and building a new path towards the heart's desire with the mind and the heart in alignment, and see where that goes. So I'll be using the Thoth Tarot more and looking into the symbolism more, and I'll be reading in because it can go really deep. This was just on the surface and getting to know this deck. So the readings will become deeper and really delve into the history and the symbology of what it's saying. So hopefully that will pique your interest, and you'll stay tuned, and I'll see you in a few weeks. And for those of you who do want a personal reading, I'm still going to be doing those. 50% of those 50% of what I make from those readings will go to a charity here in Australia. So sending everyone lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Bye.